2026, 2026. Hell yeah. Welcome in. If this video found you, it is for you. Today we are going to be talking about what is coming in 2026, and I can already tell you there is huge amount of blessings for this collective, for humanity in general, but especially like the spiritual community. I really feel like this is our year. 2025 was the year of the snake, right? It was a year of shedding. It was a year of turning inward and asking yourself, like, am I in love with my environment? Am I in love with my relationships with myself? A lot of shedding, a lot of like come to Jesus moments. I feel like there was a lot of like completion energy in the way of like being fed up with things. I feel like 2025, it was like a lot of people realizing that they're done with systems, with relationships, with environments, like really coming back to themselves and like kind of almost hitting a breaking point of being like, I'm done with that shit. And like not being afraid to be the snake in the grass, not being afraid to like stick up for yourself, of like speaking your truth even if it made other people uncomfortable. You could also have been on the flip side and like experienced a lot of people like outing themselves as snakes in the grass, as like not really being there for you, as being fake friends, or like saying that they're always there for you but then not actually showing up. Or I just feel like 2025 was a lot of like clarity. There was so much awakening, so much of like seeing your environment and seeing situations with new eyes. You could have like had a lot of revelations or like secrets come out. And I'm getting this as a lot to do with the things that are closest to us, like our home and our job and our relationships. So those are like the three things that I feel like have been so like shook up in 2025. And so then going into 2026, this is the year of the horse. This is the year of momentum, of movement, of action. And I'm getting this like really specific message that I've been getting basically this whole time that I've been meditating in 2026, because I'm setting a very, very strong intention for myself. Like, this is going to be my year. This is my year of building my life how I want. Like 2025 for me was a huge year of shedding old scenarios. Like I moved, I changed jobs, I ended with my movement. Like I ended a lot of like close relationships because I was leaving that environment. Like we're not cohabitating anymore. We don't live in the same city. I can't see you 3 to 5 times a week anymore. So it was like a lot of change for me. And I feel like it was a lot of change for you. If not externally, it was definitely a change internally and with your close relationships. And so going into 26, like I said, I'm setting this intention of this is my new life. And like, I can already feel it. And like the big message that I've been getting, I haven't even pulled any cards. This is just me talking about my channels, about my conversations with spirit that have been happening. But a lot of it has been like the movement that is coming is going to be inspired action. So like spirit is bringing these opportunities to me, to you, to spiritually inclined people, people who are connected with their higher selves. Like these opportunities are going to be brought in. It's a lot of 8 of Wands energy, but I'm also getting like Knight of Pentacles, where like, you know, the knight is the mover. It's like the messenger of the suit, but you know, in the Knight of Pentacles picture, he's stationary. And so I feel like that's the energy of like letting these opportunities come to us, like being in the Empress mode, being in our feminine, of waiting for the opportunities and like the right divine timing to come, and then acting with it, like acting in it, inspired action. So the name of the game in 2026 is like, first of all, set your intentions, right? What do you want in this year? And you don't have to think about practicalities. Like, don't get bogged down into, I don't know how this is going to happen. I don't know how am I going to make enough money to pay off my loans when the job I'm at now only pays this much and that's just barely covering my bills. Like, don't think about that. Just set your intentions for what you want to ask. Like, if you could have anything you wanted, what would it be? Well, I want this, and this. And then give it to the universe, right? Release it, and the universe will bring those opportunities in. So I feel like 2026, set your intentions for what you want to come. And spirit is like, this is the prime time for spirit to bring in the opportunities for you for growth. So we're gonna get some cards. Spirit, what's going on? 2026, what is the Wheel of the Fortune on the bottom of the deck? I did about 5 readings on New Year's Eve at a party I was at. They had a tarot deck and I just kind of fell into giving readings, and the Wheel of Fortune was on the bottom of the deck like constantly while I was doing those readings. Like when I was shuffling, it would disappear and then it would appear again. So the basis of 2025 is like reversals in fortune of maybe you were like shedding a lot, getting rid of a lot in 2025, but 2026 is going to be the opposite of you gaining a lot, of blessings coming your way, of building things and systems and habits and environments that actually work for you, that you want, right? Like I feel like before maybe you were operating in systems, habits, a mindset that you thought was good for you, or maybe it had been given to you from other people, but now you're like building things based on your own values. And a lot of like that is what the universe wants, right? Like once you start, like before you were working, we were as a collective, we're like getting rid of systems that worked against karma, against the universe, against God, but now we're working with it. We're choosing, we're like becoming co-creators of our reality. So before, I feel like 2025 was the end of like this card being in the reverse. Yeah, the moon reverse behind it. It was like hidden things coming to light. It was being forced almost because of outside factors, being forced into this energy of soul searching, of confronting feelings and truths that you've known about yourself that you were afraid to confront because it was a dissolution of ego, because you were identifying with it. Like that was what your identity was in. It would have felt really tough to confront them on your own, but like I feel like there were circumstances that made you confront them, and that was for the best, right? And so that you can start 2026 on a clean slate, on a new slate of growth and of like, and I feel like, you know, we get into this mode of when the new year comes with like this pressure of New Year's resolutions, like what, you know, what are you going to do this year? What are your goals? Like, how are you going to improve your life? How are you going to hustle this year? And I really feel like we as a society are going through this shift away from like hustle culture into like reception, into like I refuse to be anyone but myself, and like these are my goals, but I'm not necessarily going to rush into them. I'm not going to force something, because when you force it, like you lead into, it comes to burnout, right? When you go really, really ham, like going to the gym every single day, working out really, really tough for like the first 2 weeks, then you fall off, you burn yourself out, and then you never get back to the gym, or you go once a month or something like that. So the name of the game is like long-term habits. Start slow. Like the new year used to be celebrated on the spring equinox, which is in spring, right? Where, you know, it's warmer temperatures, everything's blooming. And so it kind of makes more sense that way, in my opinion. And, you know, that kind of mentality of like new year, new me makes a lot more sense in that time period, because we have energy, things are coming back alive, the days are longer, there's more sunlight. Whereas when we celebrate the new year in the middle of winter, like naturally we want to rest. We want to, you know, the days are short, it's colder, our bodies are naturally kind of in hibernation mode. So the first message I'm getting is do not push yourself too hard. Set your intentions, but know that you have the entire year, you have time and space, and you have many, many years after that. So instead of like feeling like this isn't a time of obligation to get your shit together and like tackle your to-do list and like, you know, overwhelm yourself with these things that you want to do and you want to accomplish, instead, you know, set your broad intentions and know that you have the time to do it this year. Like there is no rush, and things work out in perfect timing. When you are meant to clean the garage, an opportunity will come for you to clean the garage. When you are meant to schedule your appointments, a time will come for you to do it. You're going to realize someone's going to say something that makes you remember, oh yeah, I need to schedule that dentist appointment. And you're going to find yourself with, you know, 30 minutes of free time where you can just do it right then. So like live in the flow, live in the moment, set your intentions, write down maybe the things that you want to do, but don't get attached to the timeline. Don't get attached to feeling overwhelmed. Like you don't have to get it all done this month. You don't have to even start, like you don't have to start the habits that you want to grow this month in their complete form. If you want to start exercise, like you want to get to a point where you are going to the gym every day or going to the gym, let's say 3 times a week, and doing, strength training, core training, and cardio. Okay, well, you're not going to build that right away. And for some people, maybe they can just start going to the gym and immediately go and build that habit right away. But a lot of people aren't like that, right? So let yourself, maybe just go on a walk once a week, or once a month, whatever it is. Just start walking around your neighborhood, start walking your dog. Just start stretching in the morning, like things like that, like little steps, because you build momentum. And I feel like we're learning as a collective not to put so much pressure on ourselves. Like life is supposed to be fun, right? You have these goals because you want to enjoy yourself. You're like, well, why do I want to be fit? Why do I want to go to the gym? Well, because I want to feel healthy, because I want to be able to go hiking, because I want to be able to pick up and carry around my granddaughter, or whatever it is. Like you want to be strong and fit because of the good feelings, for the joy, so that you are capable of doing the things you want to do. So why would you want to start that habit in a place of shame, in a place of compulsion, of rush, of almost like misery, of, putting yourself to the grindstone and like forgoing all pleasures for misery to accomplish this goal? Like I feel like that's not the long play. That's not a very smart way to build habits over time, right? And also doesn't feel good. So anyway, it's already been 11 minutes. So much to talk about. I have not been active on my channel recently because of just so much that's been going on. I did my first art show or art market. It was Christmas, it was New Year's, it was the holidays. I visited my mom in Santa Fe. I also have been doing like a lot of soul searching, and spirit has been incredibly loud in my life recently about the new year. And so I've just been taking time for myself, and so I feel like I have a lot of like pent up channels and just like messages I want to get across. But let's see. Okay, Spirit, tell me who's being drawn to this today. What is the energy for them going into 2026? What is the message? And if you're on your spiritual journey and maybe you haven't had an awakening, or you're like at the beginning of your steps, Spirit was saying like they're going to be loud this year. They are very involved, very receptive. The opportunities are coming, so just stay on your path. Right? I was getting Take Me to Church by Hosier, and like God is there. Spirit is right there with you. Like I'm feeling like they're in the room with you right now, wherever you are. And they're always in the room with you, but I feel like you need to know to ask for them to show themselves, and they'll be there. All right, Spirit. Lovers in reverse on the bottom of the deck. I feel like 2025, you left a lot in the past. So many relationships, but also like ideas about what relationships should be and what you really want. Like taking away expectations that you've gotten based on like what other people have told you, and also from like media, and instead realizing that like what you truly want in your relationships, which is communication, which is healthy boundaries, which is, joy and peace, not overthinking, things like that. First of all, the universe wants to give you a gift. Yeah, Ace of Pentacles in reverse is the first card I pulled. Very, very early on into 2026, you're going to be given a gift. And this is like your New Year's gift from Spirit, from the universe. And it's like, I'm getting like, it's a welcoming gift into your new life, into 2026. It's going to be like a boon for you, a sign from God that you are on the right path, and that like your suffering is over, that you're alone, your time period of being alone, of feeling alone is over. And it's going to kind of prove to you that you are on your right path, and it's going to alleviate some kind of problem you're having. And it's going to be a very material gift. It's going to be something, and it could be money. It could be just straight like you winning off a scratch off ticket, someone gifting you an amount of money. It could come in like a gift, like someone giving you something that you've really wanted, that you've been trying to manifest but haven't, or like you've been looking for it but you haven't been able to find it. But I'm also it's going to come in as like a synchronized moment of something working out for you. Like where the odds are kind of against it, of it doesn't really make sense how it comes to you, how this situation works out. Like it could be a problem. Like I'm getting, just for example, let's say you've been having an issue with your car. Like your check engine light has been on and you haven't had the money to fix it. And you're like, I don't know what's going on. And it's going to be like, all of a sudden the light goes off and your car starts running completely smoothly and you don't have any problems for it. And so like you've had this looming idea and like doomsdaying in your head every time you turn on your car and that check engine light comes on and you hear the rattle in the engine, and in your head it's been like you've just been waiting for the day where your car doesn't start, or it starts smoking and it's just out of commission, and you're like just dreading that day when that comes, because you're like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like I don't have the money to fix it. How am I gonna get to work? And like something miraculous is gonna happen. This is a miracle. Okay, basically, I feel like I've been dancing around the world. Spirit is giving you a miracle. First of all, first coming in 2026. And I feel like it's coming in January. It could be February. The timing with things is kind of weird in the material world because like, I don't know, it just is. And so first of all, that's coming. Secondly, well, first, that's gonna show you like how there is magic in the world, how it's not all doomsdaying. And especially, I think this is important because I've been getting this channel that in 2026, we as humanity, and in the United States, if you're here, are going to reach kind of a breaking point politically and socially. And to the point where it may look kind of bleak for a little bit. Because like I said, things need to break down before you can build them up in the way that they're supposed to be. So I feel like there might be some kind of breaking point coming this year. And this is going to show you that there is a light after it, like the rainbow after the storm, that there is nothing to worry about. Like through that breaking point, through, the conflict and the contrast, to remember like that you are powerful and the universe is taking care of you. You have nothing to worry about. Because I feel like the thing that gets us is the overthinking, is like, how is this going to affect us in the future? Especially politically, like a lot of the time I find being in queer spaces or just in more leftist spaces, there's a lot of doomsdaying because, rightfully so, we're worried about where this administration is going to take us in 4 years, in 5 years, whatever. Like, what is the future going to look like? And there's a very strong message of not worrying about that, because it's all going to be taken care of, and focusing on the good things that are coming, and maybe how it's actually going to turn out really well. It's going to turn out good. And so like, don't worry about that. Don't doomsday. Just take every single day, find the joy in it, find the love, because Spirit is going to be giving you miracles. And this is going to be a year of like, you really coming back to yourself and finding your inner child. You have the sun. You see how it's got the white horse? The white horse is also seen in the Death card and the Knight of Cups, which is so interesting. It's going to be a year of like you learning to cherish yourself, and a lot of, joy and fulfillment. But specifically in like finding the romance in your everyday life and finding your joy in everyday life, like in the little things, like in the coffee, and like making time for them. Because we've been, the star on the bottom of the deck, we've been kind of in this rushing energy because of hustle culture and like the internet. It seems like social media, it seems like everything's getting everything done really, really fast. And I feel like we're returning into slowness, but movement in slowness, if that makes sense. It's definitely like a dichotomy, or like two different like sides of the coin. We've got Queen of Wands in reverse. Spirit, give me some clarity on that. Yeah. Okay. I've been pulling Queen of Wands a lot, and she's been upright and in reverse. But I pulled the Seven of Pentacles underneath it. And this card has also been coming up a lot. And this is really just confirming that message I was feeling of staying in your energy of a queen or a king. You know, this is divine. This is gender neutral. But, you know, like the Wands is the suit of action, but yet she's sitting and she's just chilling. Again, this guy's just chilling. So it's like waiting for the opportunities to act, and they're going to come to you. This is just confirmation. You just need to sit in your power, sit in your affirmations of I'm always in the right place at the right time, because you will be. Like, this is the big thing that's coming. Like, Spirit is putting you in the places you need to be. And the way that you do that is by taking care of yourself, is by choosing to like fill your days with joy. Go to that coffee shop and sit and do your work there. Go stop by that store that you've been wanting to look at. Go to the garden near your house. Go to that local park. Go meet your friends for dinner. Go meet your friends for a movie. Just go to a movie by yourself. Like, whatever it is, choosing to take time for yourself where you feel empowered, where you feel like you have time, you have space, where you connect back with your inner child, is going to bring these opportunities for growth. Literally, the Seven of Pentacles, for things to grow even more. You just have to watch. Like, this is you're just chilling, and then all of these blessings are just going to be growing around you. And it's going to be exactly what you wanted, because you weren't afraid to cut off what's no longer serving you. Seven of Swords upright. I've also been pulling this card, which is really interesting. Seven of Spirit, give me some clarity on the Seven of Swords. All right, this guy wants to come out. Eight of Cups. These are both cards of like movement, of leaving. Again, like not being afraid to leave situations, leave relationships, maybe codependent relationships. Maybe in the past you were holding on to romance or friends because you were like, I need them to feel centered. I need that support. I need that emotional support. I need, like, who knows if I'm going to find someone like this again, or who knows if I'm going to find someone who has interest in me, you know, but like, you know, life is a solo journey. You know, we're born into this world alone. We leave alone. I mean, like, you know, as individuals. And so I really feel like the message of this card is that it's what may feel like walking alone is necessary, but also it doesn't have to be like dark and gloomy and tough when you give to yourself, and when you embody this kind of playful energy of like, everything is just a game. We're here to enjoy ourselves. We're here to have fun and play. And like I feel like the message here is any situation that you left or maybe have ended, I'm feeling like maybe it wasn't voluntary. Maybe things just ended for you and you're like, I'm not sure that I wanted that to end. The message here is like, it was meant to end because you have so much more joy waiting for you. Like, you're meant for playfulness and love, and don't take it so seriously. It's not that serious. And it may feel heavy and serious, but in the end of the day, it's not. Like, you have so much more life and so many more opportunities coming for you. All right, so give me some more cards about what they're dealing with. Yeah. Because, like, they were just heartbreak. They were just going to further your path into darkness, into away from your true self. We have the Star. I knew it was going to come out. It was at the bottom of the deck. Stepping into your own power. Not being afraid to take up space. Not being afraid to use your voice. Recognizing your talents. Maybe before you were kind of like shy about talking good about yourself. But, you know, 2026 is the year of like boss energy. Being the main character. You are that bitch. You are the star. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Don't be afraid to show your true emotions. Because when you shine your light, I'm drawn to like how we've got the one main star, but then we have all of these other stars around it. You know, you shining your own light, being vulnerable and authentic. It will surprise you how other people respond to it. I'm getting that, like, if you've seen K-pop Demon Hunters, like, whenever they sing and the Han moon starts glowing, it's like all of their heart spaces starts glowing. And so when you, it's like a resonance thing. When you glow, when you let your light shine, it resonates with other people's light and their light starts showing and, you know, shining too. So, and I found this, like, personally, when I let myself, like, be vulnerable with someone in conversation, they always match me with vulnerability themselves, with saying, yeah, I can see that. And, you know, sharing something of themselves or sharing how they've struggled with that too, or their own like experiences with that, truly. And I do think like I still have that first reaction of, oh, they're going to laugh at me or scoff at me, or, why am I saying this? Because it's so personal. But I find personally that people like it. People like to be vulnerable. They can tell. People can tell when you're speaking from the heart, and it makes them feel good because they want to speak from the heart too. They want to be true to themselves. We all just want to be true to ourselves. We all just want love and happiness and light. And like authenticity, and that doesn't mean like if you're feeling down or you're feeling in the dumps, it doesn't mean smothering that with fake positivity or false optimism. It means just being authentic wherever your feelings are, because that's just how you show up. You know, you are the star. You have light, you have dark, right? Here, give me a couple more cards about what situations, what else should they know? Yeah, also, like, just don't be afraid if people start leaving your life. And Spirit wants to tell you that is all according to plan, because you have better people coming in. You know, space needs to be made for these new people to come in. Oh, High Priestess in reverse. High Priestess, what are you revealing, High Priestess? Seven of Wands in reverse. Yes, Spirit is removing obstacles that you've experienced. I feel like you've been trying to get some things cooking. You've been really like trying for a while to build habits or move forward with some kind of endeavor. This could be love. It could be a business. It could be just some self-improvement. But things have always come up. Challenges have come up. Distractions. People needing you. Like maybe you would save money for it and then something would come up and you'd have to spend that money on that thing. But these are being removed. And it was all a timing thing, because your soul still had some work to do before you could build this, before you could make progress on it. And a lot of that had to do with, one, recognizing your own power, and within that, stepping away from situations that did drain your power, that made you feel powerless. So there's like, it's kind of twofold. One, you had to learn lessons. Your soul had to learn lessons. And two, while your soul was learning lessons and growing, and getting into this prime place for you to receive this and for you to actually build. Because the thing is like, if you weren't in the right position, you wouldn't have been able to build it, because you had other energies with you. You hadn't built like the inner resolve and the connection to spirit, you know, whatever it is. So putting you like in a place internally, and that was also mirrored in the external circumstances. Like spirit was lining things up for you so that when you started to go, everything would be lined up. You were in the prime position to grow it and grow it and grow it, for it to manifest in like the perfect way possible. Because I do feel like sometimes we get kind of frustrated with the timing of things. Like, I want this to come in now. Why isn't it coming in? When really we just need to relax and have faith that it's all coming according to plan. Yeah. The universe wants to meet you where you're at. Yep, Knight of Pentacles. There it was. What was I talking about at the beginning of the video? Knight of Pentacles. Confirmation. And it was in reverse, so I feel like this is something you need to know. Do not rush into things. Do not rush into things. Okay, don't step into decisions and into situations, into contracts out of a feeling of scarcity, of necessity, of time running out. Because that's not true. You have time, you have space. The things that are meant for you are going to feel peaceful in your soul, and they're going to excite you. They're going to inspire you. It's going to be a yelling, resounding, screaming yes to them out of like the highest vibration. Like your inner child is going to be jumping for joy. Those are the opportunities that you say yes to, and they're coming for you. But for them to come to you, you have to say no to the things that aren't for you. And like, this is the biggest thing, or one of the biggest things that I learned about manifestation, is that the universe will offer you approximations of what you want before the actual complete one that you want comes in. So I'm not sure. I think it's like kind of twofold. I think it's like, for one, I kind of feel it's like the universe ramping up for it. So like, they'll manifest them because like the energy is like growing and growing and growing, and so that you're attracting like parts of it because the energy is growing. And you'll see things that are like kind of what you want but not really, and kind of what you want but not really. Like it's the right color but it's the wrong shape, or it's the right configuration but it's too expensive, you know, whatever. And one, like you'll start seeing it, and you can, you know, grab onto one of those approximations and, you know, use it, and it will probably work for you in some regard. But I find that if I say no and I pass and I say, thank you, but that is not exactly what I want, what I do want comes to me. So I just like have to wait and have faith. And it is that trust. And I feel like it is building that trust with the universe and with spirit, and like not willing to compromise, basically not willing to compromise on what you want. Let's get some tea leaves. So these are kind of new cards for me, so I don't really, may take me a little bit to kind of get the energy. Butterfly, change for the better on the bottom. Butterfly is maybe significant for you. Spirit, can we get some more like insight into maybe some specific situations for this collective? What should they know about this coming year? What should they be on the lookout for? What is coming their way? These cards really like to flip out, so I do like reading them with a flip out. Oh, just like that one. Wow, Bo, you are highly thought of. Yeah, I feel like this is Spirit. Spirit is saying you're a chosen person. People like you. It's under the sun. People really like you. And people like you when you're, because of your authenticity. Give me more, Spirit. Ribbons could be significant to you, or a young girl. leg, stepping into a new experience. Interesting. Temporary situation and position of authority. Yeah. Interesting. So we've got, you see how we've got like the tent and then the throne, but they're kind of like similar. And I pulled this under the Seven of Swords and Eight of Cups and then the Star. So the tent is underneath the leaving cards and then the throne is underneath the Star card. So I feel like you are, this leaving, like I said, is temporary. You could be also like traveling or being maybe in some kind of temporary home situation, like maybe not where you necessarily want to be, but Spirit is saying like that's temporary, don't worry about it. That tent is not your final home. I feel like you could be in that transition state right now. And Spirit is saying like, don't worry, you're being delivered from it. You're stepping into your throne. You're stepping into your authority. I'm getting like this image of like being the lost prince or the lost princess and like how being treated like, the common folk, of being a beggar on the street, of being like dubbed a street urchin kind of thing, and no one really knowing that you're the heir to the throne. And then finally it being revealed like, wait, that kid was the king. Oh my, they pulled the sword out of the stone. They defeated our enemy in battle and now they're on the throne. That's crazy. Like that's the energy I'm getting. You're going to surprise people. You're going to surprise yourself. But I feel like but you're like, is it really? You almost feel like it's too good to be true because your past has not shown that to you. Can we get one more card for them? I feel like we didn't get many. Dog. Protection from a powerful friend. You could have a dog or be really connected to dogs. But you are protected. Especially the bow and the dog. I'm getting like this is spirit. Spirit sees you. Spirit sees the work that you're doing. And there's no way that you could be aligning with abundance, with your own power, with love and community. There's no way that you could be asking for these things from spirit and them not bring it in. Like, it's impossible. So all of your ventures are protected. Everything that you want to build is protected. Your path is protected. I'm getting this really strong message of like, there is no need to rush. There is no need to act from a place of feeling like you need to hurry up or it's going to pass you by. Don't be afraid to pause. Meditate, connect with your higher self. Your opportunities are divinely protected and guided. And it's like your path is always going to be there for you because it's not for anyone else. Very simply. Your niche is always going to be there ready for you to fill it. So don't worry about it. Be still. Take time for yourself. Meditate. You don't need to be hustling. Steadily work on your goals when you feel called to, when you're inspired to. And it doesn't mean don't have any discipline, but it means like don't work yourself ragged. Yeah, rescue. I've been pulling that card like crazy. And it's within that pause that you're going to integrate every single version and like part of yourself. It's within that meditation and that taking the time to connect with yourself that you're gonna feel complete, you're gonna feel whole, you're gonna discover parts of yourself that you never thought were there. Like maybe you've never have much like business acumen, you always felt kind of like weird about finances, but you're gonna find that like those skills are within you. You have the aptitude, you have the ability to learn and to grow, and like you have all the skills that you need for whatever you want to do. Maybe you don't feel like you have the skills to be a star or like to have a relationship. You're like, but you do have them. They're in you. But pausing and meditating and connecting with yourself is going to bring out those parts of you that maybe you haven't met before, who have been sleeping, that have been repressed since childhood because of what other people have told you, what you've taken on, beliefs that other people have about you that you've told yourself that you've taken on yourself. But the full integrated you that is going to be stepping into this new venture is there for you. You have everything you need. And like, I feel like that's also a huge lesson of this year, is that you have every single thing that you need already within you. All the talents you need, all the skills you need, all the energy, anything, it's there for you. And once you recognize that you have everything that you could possibly want for your path, it will also manifest. Because, as above, so below, as within, so without. Recognize it and trust in it, and it will start being reflected for you in the material world. So I feel like that's where I'm going to end the reading. I just want to say I'm so proud of you for sticking it out through 2025. It was rough. It was the year of the snake. It was a lot of shedding, a lot of confrontation, a lot of change. And I am so proud of you for your commitment to yourself, for your commitment to your growth, to the people that you love, to the world, to humanity. And know that, everything that you put out in the world is going to come back to you tenfold. All the love that you've given, all of the time and effort that you've spent is going to come back to you. So just rest, focus on yourself, focus on nurturing your inner child, and everything is going to work out perfectly. I love you. Good luck on your journey. We're in this together. I'll be back with another video soon. Bye.